My name is Ramona Ziman. I'm working at Endava. I'm a former lead product designer at Crunchyroll, and I worked with those men for long years together. What should I say? I'm a design manager at Endava. I'm leading a team of 12 designers. I have less hands-on design. I'm more into management. And yeah, that's it.
Thank
In a
you.
nutshell about me.
I'll be next. Mă numesc Vladimir Hagioglu. Eu am vreo 15 ani de experiență, cred că în design. Am început să lucrez în genere ca un jurnalist și după asta am decis că nu, probabil, that's not my thing. Și am făcut un switch în design. În 2015 am venit să lucrez în companie Iopeso, unde eu l-am întâlnit pe Marcel, pe Ramona. Și după asta noi am trecut toți împreună prin timpuri foarte interesante, care nouă ne-au ajutat să creștem, să trecem prin o mulțime de situații problematice și vesele. Acești doi oameni sunt prieteni de-ai mei foarte buni. Și ultimele, probabil 5 ani, poziția mea era de manager și product design director la compania Crunchyroll. În același timp, o leacă făceam design, dar nu mai lucrez acolo de vreo 8 luni și finally I had the opportunity to have my hands on design, learn Figma, catch up with that stuff, how to move pixels around the frame și asta a fost tare nice. Și acum eu colaborez cu mai multe startup-uri să aplic cunoștințe care am și să încerc să găsesc ceva nou. Că startup-uri acolo tot este diferit, comparativ cu companii mari. That's shortly about me.
Salut la toți! Sugerez prin a începe să vă celebrez o zi minunată și lungă. Voi ați ajuns până aici. Și asta seara. Ce să vă zic? Cred că 2 decade în urmă am început. A fost graphic design. În jur de 2007 a apărut oportunitatea internship pe web design în state. Am revenit în țară. Între 2007 și 2014 a fost freelance. 2014, o experiență foarte interesantă, un startup din San Francisco, cu ei am stat runda A și B și mă bucur pentru ei și mine. Produse există până în ziua de azi. Multe produse se încep și ele dispar. Uitați-vă, 2014 și până acum produse există, se scalează, e worldwide. Apoi a venit oportunitatea de a reveni în product design din 2015. S-a spus, noi am lucrat împreună, am creat o echipă în Chișinău și apoi s-a creat o echipă la Cluj. Aproximativ 2018 am trecut în state, de atunci activez în state. Arealul de interes este construirea de organizații de product design sau maturizarea organizațiilor de product design. Recent, 2022, am schimbat enterprise-ul înapoi la mamă, o companie mică care face product design și este foarte interesant să iei experiența din trecut, experiența actuală și să revii la ceva care mi-ai făcut în trecut și să vezi ce se poate de aplicat, ce trebuie de experimentat și de schimbat. Și la fel ca și colegii mei, am lăsat sketch-ul și învățăm Figma.
That's great. Fun fact, I met all those 3 people at the same interview. They were interviewing me. I didn't pass. Well, in your career, you had a period of time where you had to step in as a leader. Could you please tell us more about that experience? What are the key, let's say, responsibilities of a leader, of a good leader in design, and key skill set for that?
Every leader is different, and there are multiple types of leadership. But I believe that the first thing that unites all those different types of leadership is people. Because you are working with people, you are working for people, and probably for me it's going to be making sure that people that work with you are successful in their life and are successful in their career. That's probably my answer to this.
Connecting to that, I also believe as a leader you should give the people space to be successful. I mean, don't be a leader who tell you have to do this because I'm telling you that. So allow the people to explore, to fail, and to succeed. So don't use the word leading in the sense of like you have to do something.
Since I started so long ago, I had to make a lot of mistakes and learn from my own mistakes. You guys know about that. Where I am right now, I'll say empathy. That's crucial. And you might Google, actually it became a book, Radical Candor, how to balance between being offering a lot of compliments or being rude with the person. It's a gauge. How you find the balance, where is the, and each of us is different. And probably eating less, and with that metaphor I'm trying to explain, not trying to be a leader, trying to be a servant in a good way. Put people in front of you. There are good days, there are bad days, so in the good days, actually in the bad days, try to remind yourself how good is the world around you. And empathy, empathy, empathy. Quite often, you may create, myself, I could create difficult moments to the people I'm working with, or people may not acknowledge that they're stressing themselves and people around. Yeah.
Before becoming a designer, a manager, asta era probabil 2016. Marcel era atunci managerul meu și el de mai multe ori mie îmi spunea: Vladimir, trebuie să lucrezi la empatie. Tu ești prea emoțional, tu trebuie să fii mai terpimă la oameni. Și eu, de ce cauză eu trebuie să fiu? Eram mai tânăr, nu înțelegeam ce înseamnă să fiu un designer și că designer trebuie să aibă empatie la toți. Cu timp, când eu am devenit manager, asta era 2018, când Marcel s-a mutat în state și ne-a oferit nouă cu Ramona posibilitatea să luăm asta, dar după conversație cu Ramona ne-am decis că da, asta era vesel. N-am decis că Vladimir va fi manager, că probabil noi ambii am vrut să fim manager și n-am vrut, că niciunul nu era probabil pregătit pentru așa ceva. Atunci eu am înțeles ce Marcel a avut în vedere, prin empatie. Când eu am început să vorbesc cu oameni, cu direct reports, și am făcut atâtea greșeli. Când eu acum fac recap și văd greșelile care mi-am făcut, într-adevăr, eram bad manager. Și, da, empatie, dar și love people. You should love people, pur și simplu. Dacă cumva you hate people, probably management is not your job.
Aș dori să mai adaug un lucru. Sunt mituri și atât, spre exemplu, mâine la work session, iarăși o să vorbim de mituri. În management este mitul ăsta că adresează-te la VP sau C-level, caută cine poate să-ți facă mentorship. Eu vorbesc din experiență personală. M-am adresat, au fost doar cuvinte. Chiar și în state au trebuit să merg mai departe singur. Dacă vă în carieră o să vi se primească să găsiți persoane care nu doar spun, dar chiar o să vă facă mentorship, stick to that people, stick to that person. E foarte important, e rar să găsești. Cărțile și realitatea, e o discrepanță mare.
Elena and I were mentoring as well. We know how hard it is for juniors to feel that they are capable enough to grow into middle, that they are already a middle-level designer. Same thing comes to middle-level designers who have the imposter syndrome, maybe, and they don't believe that they are good enough to be a senior already. From your point of view, guys, what do you think is the key difference between a middle and senior designer? Where is that line from which you kind of sure, now I'm a senior.
Sasha, me, I'll take it one step back and I'll say, without level, generally speaking, it's a buzzword, T-shape, and I still believe T is like that, right? And the vertical is how you grow the knowledge of the tools, product design methods, right, and other aspects. And through time, you get to a point where you understand or you get hints from your colleagues that you have to start developing or increasing the amount of soft skills you have. It's communication, collaboration, and on top of that, I could put another buzzword, I truly believe in that, emotional intelligence. That will help you. Instead of just trying, to put lines or boxes to say, this is your box, this is your box, it's more than that. What do you think, guys?
Well, in my experience working with different levels of designers, I could identify several patterns. And that was for me like one of the key differences. Because, so first of all, you have a job description, right? For mid-level, junior level, and senior level. You have soft skills and hard skills, and you evaluate those people based on those skills. But there is two things that I have identified. The first one that differentiates mid-level from the senior level. So senior level designer has a strong vision and understanding of where they are going and what they want from their life and what they want from their career. This was probably the key thing. And honestly, right now I see a lot of people, not only designers, but as well I had the opportunity to talk to like engineers and product managers. Like, people do not have a goal in their life. And I'm like, dude, you're coming and asking for like an advice, what to do with this and what to do with that, but you have no idea what do you want to be. So like, this is probably the first thing that differentiates, again, senior level from mid-level. They understand what they want to be when they grow up. Another thing is a great problem-solving skills. Senior level designers have opportunity to have knowledge and experience, and they know how to apply problem-solving skills in any part of their job and in any part of their personal life. And the most interesting thing is to observe how they use problem-solving skills day to day doing their job, and as well how they do it in their personal life. Those probably will be my two answers.
Thank
you. Want to add something?
Yeah, I want to compare them in a nutshell how I see that, but it will resonate with what you said. So if we have mid-designers and seniors, then mid-designers are more people who are asking for help, asking more for mentorship, while seniors are more the people who act as mentors. That might be a difference. A difference is as well in collaboration or communication, or let's keep it in communication. Mid-designers are more connecting and collaborating, speaking to designers, while senior designers are cross-functional, communicating with people to get more insights of other departments, other teams. Mid-designers are more people who have hands-on design, the crafters, and senior designers are more the overseer, who are overseeing design rather than having hands-on design. And what I would give as an advice to level up from a mid-designer to senior designer is, top number one is for me communication. Communication skills in sense of, you can have the best design ever, but if you cannot explain the decision why you did it in a certain way, your design will not win, even if it will be the Apple-style best world design ever. If you can't explain why you did it, why in a certain way, I mean, can't explain your design decisions, then, so communications for me, the top number one when comparing those two or how to level up.
Yeah, thank you, Ramona. In the meantime, we have Paul. Paul finally connected. Hi, do you hear us?
Guys, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I was able to finally connect. But
Could you please introduce yourself in a couple of words?
everyone, good to be here. Thanks for having me. My name is Paul Katkin. I'm originally from Moldova. I'm currently living in the United States, Seattle, and for one of the internal platforms at TikTok. The name of this company is ByteDance. I've been in the United States for about 7 years. I moved there from Moldova. Yeah, so that's in a nutshell about myself. I wanted to add to the previous call-outs plus one on that. And yeah, so on the last one, you know, I agree that the communication is really important. Tom Griever said in that book, Articulating Design Decisions, the most important skill is not to push the pixels to be perfect. The design craft, it's communication. It's just about being right. It's about being able to persuade people. So that's what I learned a lot throughout my kind of experience here in the United States.
So we can summarize. Communication is one of the key skills for a designer to be considered a successful designer.
I think it's worth to mention, and to what Ramona said, and I love it, explain the decisions. Don't walk me through the design. Tell me the story. Okay, it's difficult when you show me two screens, but when you're showing me a flow, there is a story. I want to hear the story. That's one thing. Another one, to no matter the role, to a designer and a hiring manager, try to make a habit answering the question, what I want to stop doing. It's hard, I'm trying myself, so try to remember. And people that I had a chance to interview lately, probably they remember I asked this question. In your future job, exactly, quoting, I'm asking, what you want to stop doing or you don't want to do anymore in your new role?
It's kind of good question, yeah. Good, yes, exactly. I have a friend, you know her, Kato, my dear colleague, who is not here in Moldova, unfortunately. Back in time, we were discussing, is there a life for a designer beyond senior position? Is it mandatory for everybody to become a leader, or you can keep going, keep exploring something, keep growing, not putting yourself in the manager's shoes? Could you please share some experience from your side, guys?
Yeah, I can. There is IC road, individual contributor, and there is manager road. And with individual contributor, there is a huge opportunity to grow wide. And the design field is super wide, super broad, and you can start studying things that like are on opposite side of it, right? You can get better at iconography, at fonts, whatever, right? You can grow. All this bring you additional knowledge, and you become a senior, more senior person. And after that, like you can remain on the senior position and continue polishing your skills and becoming like a great designer who produces amazing designs that are usable, that bring business a lot of money. Another thing is that you can take the lead role. Lead role is kind of on the edge of management and individual contributor. You still remain an individual contributor, but now you are sharing more of your expertise with your colleagues, with other designers. You may be asked to manage their tasks, time, and overall, you can lead this team to a success through being a good example. This doesn't mean that you need to be a manager. It doesn't mean you need to coach those people and evaluate them at the end of the year during the end-year review cycle. No, but it's a great opportunity, in my opinion.
There are some roles that are on the market and also emerge. You might hear or Google principal is a person who leads a team. And is their decision they want to add a layer of management or just, let's say, creativity or problem solving? That's one. You already are familiar with the project manager, product owner. In the world of agency that I'm now, we have a new term of design owner. It's like marrying together a product and a designer. There are projects where probably makes sense a project manager to be between client and a design team. And in the same company, you might have, and I'll encourage to experiment, to put on a front line in a good way of saying that a designer to work with the client, to provide feedback, tell the storytelling, explain the decision, debate or solve the problem, then work with the team, and that goes in loops, in loops, in loops. That would be nice.
That would be nice. Nice addition. Paul, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with all said before. I think it really depends on the company. So, for example, here at Amazon, they don't have such a definition as definition such as designer. There is only UXD.
Yeah, it's interrupting Paul. Sorry. We're gonna get back. Maybe connection will be much better. Let's go next to the next question, guys. So you've mentioned, and even Paul, you just mentioned quite big company, Amazon. So let's maybe compare. What does it mean to be a design lead in a big company, in an enterprise corporate company, comparing with an agency, startup, design team of one?
Okay. In the management role, being that product manager or research, you have to wear multi-hats. And I witnessed two of them. Is to be an advocate and a diplomat. Advocate because no matter how the organization is structured, there will be cells, being that by department or by platform or else. And yes, you are a company, you may have a roadmap, you are building a product together, but each of these groups will have their own agenda. They are not your enemy. You are friends, but they have their own agenda. So you have to work out to do a well representation of your group, and that's mean advocating, not fighting, advocating. And it's very important to advocate and position your group. And in the organization where is mature organization, probably design will have a seat at the table with the C-level, where it's business, analytics, and else. In a young organization, this is the role of the advocating, finding a way of collecting data and making a case why design should be at the table. So that's advocating. Whereas the diplomacy, anytime there's a high-profile initiative or work to be done, there will be people that will jump on that and trying to like take a lead or make their own thing. No need to be jealous. What's important is to think in the interest of the end user. Remind yourself and the people you are working, you are creating a product, and that's not your product. It's not the product of your boss, it's the end user. So then you need to train, and here we're coming back to emotional intelligence and soft skills. Somehow start building those skills to be good at advocating. I'm very impatient, I'm trying. So two things, advocacy and diplomacy.
For me, so I've spent 6 years working at I cannot say it's a big company, but at Moldovan market, it's a pretty big one. So it's corporate. Comparing it now with working at startups, the number one difference is business politics. And when you start working in a big corporate company, you will have to deal with business politics at the leadership level a lot. And you can do nothing with this. This is how it works. This is how our life works. And whenever you are going to work at a big company, please be prepared. It's going to be a lot of politics there. But at the same time, you will have a lot of opportunity to hide under the table and do nothing. So it all depends on what you want and what your goals are. Now, for me, I am super tired of this thing because there are a lot of people who would better spend their whole day in 8-hour meetings playing politics rather than doing their job. Compared to startup, what the difference is that people there are pulling it into the same direction. They don't have time to politics. They are focused on launching super fast something that the users want and something that will bring them money. And this lack of lack of business politics actually brings me joy. I'm like, guys, I'm not stressed anymore. Even if I work 12 hours a day, I'm happy. Look at me. And like, it is really good thing for me at the moment. I'm not sure if when I'll get back and if I'll get back to corporate, but for now, I'll probably say that this is the key difference that I can see.
So I spend half of my life, in my professional life, in working in client-oriented companies, split it into corporate companies and startups and design agencies, and the other half of my life in a corporate product-oriented company. What I enjoyed the most was that working in product companies, or the difference is that in product-oriented companies, we really care about the users. Yeah, not all the time perfectly, yeah, but the scope is of satisfying the user with what we are building. What I also observed that in the client-oriented companies, it sometimes it depends how structured is the company. Usually, unfortunately, we have to please the clients. We have to satisfy the clients. So all the skills which we learn to satisfy users and personas and user testing, that is not applied. That is what is frustrating us designers. But it depends as well of the politics, or not the politics, but the setup of the company. Even in small companies or client-oriented companies, if the company puts importance on, yes, we have the client with a product, we still deliver a product, we are not delivering a project, and that is here the mindset which needs to switch in companies which have design teams working with clients, that we have to switch as well in those companies a bit the mindset of like, we are still delivering a product and not satisfying the client. And yeah, that is just what I wanted to mention. Yeah.
Adding a couple of words to what you just said, because we are working with you in absolutely same conditions, in same type of the company. I feel myself many times that I have to not only advocating sometimes is not enough.
And educate.
Educate first, then advocate.
This is like there are two things, educate and advocate, and cross-functional collaboration inside the organization. So you really need to educate the people inside your organization what you as a designer are capable to do. We are constantly seen as pixel pushers, and that is connected to the fact that there are designers who are still presenting the things as a pixel pusher. So as Marcel said, we are just showing those two screens and asking, what do you like? But we have to tell the story behind how I got to those screens, why I created the screens. So it's like a circle. But educate and advocate and those cross-functional stuff, that's much more, that's very important. Like building relationships, networking with other people to find your allies, which are saying, that girl rocks, she understands the shit, so listen to her. This is what you need to get inside those companies which have no idea what you are doing and why you are here.
That may be a skill set that is required to go on to the next level, right?
Most probably. And let me actually give you a question, guys. Vreodată, ca lucrând ca designer, ați avut probleme cu faptul că product manager sau inginer nu înțeles pentru ce voi ați făcut? Da?
Many times.
Come on. Eu cred că fiecare designer
Don't be shy.
a avut așa o problemă. Și nu contează voi lucrați într-o agenție, într-un enterprise, în product company, it doesn't matter. Problema probabil este că UX, UI design, product design este ceva nou. Și da, noi când tu ai auzit despre UX design? Câți ani ai avut?
Eu?
Da.
27.
27. Asta nu atât de mult timp în urmă, corect? Cât? 6 ani în urmă, probabil? 7?
In the beginning of my career.
Ok.
Yeah.
Și asta tu ești designer.
From the second client.
Da. Și, oh.
He was asking me about UX. I was like, what the hell is that?
Și acum noi vorbim, deci noi suntem designeri și noi singuri am aflat despre UX UI design ceva timp în urmă, dar dacă noi vorbim despre product, dacă vorbim despre engineering sau stakeholders, business people, ei idee probabil nu au în Moldova ce asta înseamnă. Așa că vă încurajez că probabil partea a lucrului care faceți întotdeauna trebuie să fie coaching de peers și coaching de stakeholder. If you want to be successful, sorry guys, if you want to be successful this particular company and you want to help business to grow and you want to do the job as it's written in the book, then you need to start coaching your colleagues, your peers, your stakeholders on what is UX, what is the return on investment on UX, and what value it brings to the business. Show numbers.
Many times we think that it's something purely related to Moldovan companies or Moldovan clients or something. Paul, what do you think? You have quite a good experience you may compare. Is it the same in the US? You have to educate, then advocate. You have to tell your managers, your peers, who you are, what's your work.
Yeah, this is exactly the same. I'm not sure if you can hear me well, guys.
We do.
But let me know if I'm picking up.
We do hear you.
All is true. Other aspect I would add to that is that in addition to utilizing the UX to the team and explaining them the value of the design thinking process and approach, one other important aspect is to how do you really connect the design outcomes to the business objectives through KPIs, business metrics. And as a senior or lead designer, this is how you build rapport with your stakeholders, with cross-functional folks. Kind of, you should be able, your partners, your allies, and just give them designs. So being like you said, the pixel pusher, this is what I came up with. It doesn't work like that. Okay, I'm breaking up again. Am I?
Yeah, you do. But the main idea, I think we got it, that most important thing here is to find the common language with your managers, with your stakeholders, with people who are taking decisions. Because without that, everybody will keep pushing in different directions, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's another skill, right? Alongside with all those that we just mentioned. Career growth. I know that some of you are now mentoring people or giving advices into their careers. Guys, knowing that you have such a big experience behind, and I'm pretty sure a lot of interesting projects ahead, what would be your best advice in 2023 for a designer? Let's split it. For a designer who is starting their career, for a designer who has some doubts but would like to continue trying to grow, and for the one who is thinking that maybe they reach their limit and it's hard to grow in their environment.
I can go if you don't mind, if you can hear me.
Yeah, we do. Please go.
So I've mentored a bunch of designers willing to be promoted to principals from seniors at Amazon. A couple of key things here. So first of all, you should switch your mindset from being reactive to being proactive. So you should tackle more, you should own things, and just pave your way towards. So that's one thing. Another thing is, no matter who you are today, uh, there's always an opportunity for growth. So it's about setting up the right goals.
I think we lost you again, Paul. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry that it's happening. Guys,
Paul is back.
Next time I will come to Moldova. Sorry about that.
we're gonna wait for you.
For the people coming to the industry, we are all guilty of analysis paralysis and impostor syndrome. Yeah, try to learn something, but then at some point, be courageous and ask for an internship. Go somewhere. I'll try to pretend that I'm smart and I read a couple of books. You'll see that in the books. You want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go with the team. Join someone, start somewhere, and it's like water, it's going to flow.
What I can add for the people who are new in design and just start their career is just start doing something. Just have your hands on design and start moving. I don't remember. I just read recently something about that, and it was super nice because it was written that if you are reading about something, you're not doing it. If you are discussing it with someone, you're not doing it. If you are thinking about it, you're not doing it actually. Just start doing. You're reading books, you listen to podcasts, you hear something, you read something, and you put it in your head. But until you start actually to use it on a daily basis, it's not gonna work. You just need to start. Don't be afraid to fail. Fail, learn from that, stand up, move on. This is probably the advice I can give to the guys who just start their career. And for those who want to grow, I don't know, maybe from mid to senior or from senior to lead, there are two things that I wanted to share. The number one thing is probably the core soft skills that there are. It's problem solving and empathy. These two things. Continue just to getting better at this. Continue to use your problem solving skills everywhere. Like everywhere in your personal life, and just get better at that. And another thing that I can see right now in the industry happening, and you can see probably this as well on LinkedIn, there are a lot of posts about that. And I don't like that this is happening actually, but this is the world we live in. And it's about skills that you need to have to present your designs, to negotiate your ideas with stakeholders, with product managers, with engineers, and to stand behind them, and to even sometimes sell your ideas to your coworkers. I know it doesn't sound well, but this is the reality, and you need, if you want to be successful, you need to have that skill.
What I want to add is that I have, for example, in my team, some seniors which struggle a bit with the question, what is next? And a lot of them don't want to go because everybody thinks they need to become now a leader, but they don't want to go in leadership, which I totally support in sense of not everyone is suited for a leadership role. So it's okay to be a designer with a certain age, or because a lot of people also think, well, I'm now 40, I cannot be now a designer for some reason. So that's not true. If you want to be a designer with 40, with 50, stay in that role if it makes you happy. So I have a couple of people which are as well, so in this edge of like, I'm a senior and what's next? And I'm as well very introverted. And in my company, there is a saying, we have to be vocal, to be present, to be seen as a senior and as a leader. But I cannot force someone who is introverted to be now vocal. I mean, you know, but I can support that person in sense of like, okay, how else you can express your knowledge? And there, I saw that there are people who are introverted, very senior, don't want to present, don't want to, you know, be present at every meeting and share something, but they have very good writing skills. So please write an article, express your knowledge or your skills through writing. That is also vocal. So try, as a designer, if you are in such a situation, try to figure out how else you can use your skills which you have, but show it or express it in another way. So for that you need to understand what are your skills and what you are really good in. But maybe you cannot show it how everybody else is showing it, but the way how for you it's comfortable to show. Just as an advice.
In regards to being introverted, you are introverted? Are you an introvert?
Are you sure?
Then you're doing a pretty good job, Ramona. Because I would never say you're an introvert. We actually have here a colleague who is a huge introvert, and what he decided to do to kind of progress in what he's doing, he decided to come to meetups, talk to more people on the purpose, even if it's hard for him. And he understands that he needs to step over that to be a better professional, and he starts doing it. It's so cool to see it, and it's really interesting to see how he evolves and grows. And he was sharing with me his findings in this journey, and it's just like huge respect. And this is just an example for you guys how you can overcome like these kind of things, even if it's your personality, but you see that this character or type of your personality does not allow you to grow. There are ways to overcome that.
Maybe it's about ownership again, right? You're owning some decisions about your career.
Correct. It's goals, setting the goals.
Yep.
To that, I would like to add a scenario. So imagine that for various reasons, you don't feel yourself ready to open this matter at work, right? Then I have this term among my friends saying product design therapy. So it's time to open product design therapy. How you do that? With your friends and designers, speak out loud, and most important after that, ask them to ask you questions. And think of questions they ask you, why? And do a couple sessions of that. You may be surprised what conclusion you will make after product design therapy sessions.
Well, I found out actually that mentoring looks a lot like a therapy. So good mentor, it's like a psychologist. So you're going there, you're crying all the time that something's not right, I struggle, and the good mentor will give you some advice like, hey, stop doing that, do that, or in my role, I did it that way. Maybe it will work for you as well. Last question, maybe. Guys, to become good designer in 2023, what might be your best suggestion? One, just one, but gold.
Learn to learn.
Learn to learn. All right. right?
And since me and Vladimir pretend to be smarty pants, I'll say then accept that you don't know what you don't know. That's hard. For me, it's hard.
Accept that AI is here. So don't be afraid of that. So work with that.
Use it, right?
Use it, yes.
Paul?
Can you?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, just if it's one thing, just keep being passionate about it, and just keep doing your stuff.
That's a great advice after all. Not quitting, it's also a huge success. Even though you're facing so many struggles, right, Ramona? We know that. That was the last question for this panel discussion. Guys, I'd like you to thank our guests with a huge applause.